Hey, this is Danny from Scare Talk. Before we get into all the horror greatness, I gotta let you know about Anchor. Anchor is the host site that we use to record our podcast. Anchor will upload your podcast to Apple and Spotify and many other listening platforms. Anchor is completely free, and you can download the app or go to the website, anchor.fm, and you can record straight on there. There's also some cool editing tools that you can use. Did I mention that it's free? Yeah, so if you want to make a podcast, Anchor is the way to go. Go check it out. Now, for the spooky stuff.
Welcome to Scare Talk, a horror movie podcast for horror fans. This podcast will cover horror movie reviews, ratings, and rankings. Now for your hosts, Danny and Joel.
Alright, it is Scare Talk, and I am Danny, and this is Joel.
Hey guys, what's up?
And we are continuing our Halloween franchise review series with Halloween 3, The Season of the Witch.
Yes.
Alright, so who is in this one?
So I only put one person for this because I tried looking up other people that are in it and there was really no information on them whatsoever.
Yeah.
But there's really only one main character really in this movie anyway.
Yeah.
And his name is Tom Atkins.
Oh yeah.
He's the doctor.
Dr. Tom.
Dr. Tom. He was in the 2009 My Bloody Valentine.
Yep.
And Escape from New York and The Fog. So he's Familiar with John Carpenter's work. And he was also in Lethal Weapon.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, he's been in stuff. He's kind of a known name.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and this was written by a man named Tommy Lee Wallace. He wrote Amityville 2, The Possession. Fright Night Part 2.
Oh, man.
He likes doing sequels, apparently.
I didn't even know there was a Fright Night 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is interesting. The It. He wrote the teleplay for It for the theatrical, or not theatrical, but
the miniseries.
The miniseries, yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. Probably what he's most famous for, I would say. And it was also directed by Tommy Lee Wallace, who directed Fright Night Part 2 and It. Oh. He is the It director and the writer of it, so that's pretty cool.
Nice.
And that's for directing. That's really all that I found that people would know anyway.
Yeah.
Besides like episodes here and there of different shows.
Right. All right, and so this one is about kids all over America wanting the silver shamrock masks for Halloween. Dr. Daniel Chalice seeks to uncover a plot by the silver shamrock owner, Connell Cochran.
Just sounds like a bad guy name.
All right, so these masks are pretty cool. I kind of want to get
they are pretty
the
cool.
Pumpkin one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they are pretty cool masks.
All right, so this one's weird. This one has nothing to do with the other ones.
No, it's its own separate thing. This is when they were trying to do their anthology series. They were trying to see if that can get picked up, which I kind of wish that it did, because Halloween 2 did have a perfect ending for that story. Right. So to continue on with anthology stories would have been pretty cool.
Yeah. And for Halloween season, it's kind of a cool idea.
Yeah, it is.
I hope eventually that does happen with some sort of series, because it'd be cool to have, maybe not every year, but every couple of years, a Halloween movie for Halloween time that isn't necessarily a ongoing story. Yeah. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I like the idea.
Yeah, I like the idea too, but apparently a lot of people did not when the movie came out. No. This was not a big hit whatsoever. No. People were just expecting to see Michael Myers and Laurie Strode. when they hear the. So the marketing wise, it was kind of a. They probably shouldn't have used the Halloween name.
No.
To market this movie, it would have. I think it would have done a lot better if they had just made this the Season of the Witch.
Yeah.
Not Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. Like this is not. This is not a part of a trilogy.
No.
Having Halloween 3 in the title does not make sense.
Right. They were just trying to bank off of the title, you think?
Yeah, they definitely were. And this one came out like 1 year, like exactly a year after the second one did too. So they were probably already working on this one when the sequel came out.
Yeah.
So this is gonna separate a lot of divide a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think people have grown to appreciate it more.
Yeah.
As the years have gone by.
That's what I've noticed.
But there's still quite a few people who do not like this movie.
Yeah.
At all. And, if the first time you saw it was when it was in theaters, then I can't really blame you.
Yeah. I'd be pretty irritated. Yeah, nothing worse than, marketing to, lead you in a different direction than what you expect.
Although, I'm sure there were previews. There were trailers for this movie.
There had to
you
be.
You don't get a movie like this and you don't see Michael Myers or Laurie Strode. What are you expecting is going to happen in this movie?
Yeah.
Even the trailer, I'm sure, seemed like a completely different movie altogether than Halloween 1 and 2. So, I don't know. A lot of people don't watch trailers, especially maybe back then.
Yeah. Maybe they weren't as accessible.
Yeah.
It's so easy to find now. Yeah.
Yeah, they are. But yeah, so this is probably, besides maybe Halloween 2, the Rob Zombie one is probably going to be the most divisive.
Yeah.
Of all
it's
of
very
the Halloween
controversial.
Movies. It is. Oh yeah. So it's going to be an interesting one.
Okay. So what? Let's just jump into what we like and don't like, I guess. What do you think? What did you like?
I liked Tom Atkins.
Okay.
His character. I liked his character in this movie. He kind of felt like more of a cop than a doctor to me for a good portion of this movie. Yeah. But okay, we'll go with doctor.
Yeah, I don't know why he had to be a doctor.
Yeah, there was nothing medical about what he did in this entire movie. It would have made more sense as a detective or something. Yeah. But so I liked his character. I liked the story. The story was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
To me, as far as a Halloween story goes, this is probably my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Story-wise?
Story-wise, yeah. It's really not generic. It's not, it's not about a stalker killing people, which I love Michael Myers, but this is a completely different thing altogether, and I appreciate that. I probably would have felt differently. I probably would have been in the same camp with people that had saw it in theaters. Yeah. Back then.
Yeah.
I want Michael Myers. I want Laurie Strode.
Yeah.
I want Dr. Loomis. But not being one of those people, I wasn't even born back then when this movie came out. So it was it probably would have been a whole different experience altogether, but I really enjoyed it for what it was. It was a standalone. It was supposed to be a start of an anthology series, which would have been cool. And I liked the story. The story was really inventive and really creative and just really good. I thought.
Yeah. Pretty interesting, and there was a mystery.
There was, yeah.
What? Who are these people? Why are these people dying? Mm-hmm. And you connect them with this place.
Yeah.
And you connect that place.
Conspiracy going on.
Yeah. And so it was interesting, a little mystery. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it kept me engaged.
Yeah.
To kind of figure out what's going on with this Shamrock company.
Mm-hmm.
So, anything else you liked?
I'm gonna. I was gonna put the acting wise in the neutral category. Yeah. I did like some of it. Some of the acting was decent.
Yeah. Which
is pretty much what I'm gonna say about all the movies. They're decent acting, except for the first one.
Yeah. Bad.
It was just bad. It's just bad all around. But there was some decent acting in this one. I liked that there was a whole conspiracy. I liked the conspiracy aspect. I liked kind of a sort of not as big as a government cover-up, but kind of like in the same vein as like there was a cover-up going on, and people that got too close or knew what was going on were killed.
Right.
It definitely did not feel Halloween-ish.
I would say that some of it did.
Some of it, yeah. I mean, as far as the advertising for the masks go, like the commercial and stuff. Yeah. Music-wise, not the greatest.
Oh, see, I like the music. I like the music.
See, I watched this on DVD, and the menu screen for this movie is just that song on repeat. Yeah. And, oh my gosh. I like it for a little while, but it's thrown in there a lot in this movie.
8 more days till Halloween, Halloween.
It gets to the point where it just drives me a little bit crazy.
Yeah. I think that's the point, though. It's supposed to, like, hypnotize you, you know?
Had very, like, Nightmare on Elm Street-ish type of... well, not Nightmare on Elm Street, but Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes.
Like, as far as the music goes.
Oh, man. But I like the music throughout. Like, some of the score I did like. Mm-hmm. Not just that song. I did like that. I thought that was like the Looney Tunes song. Or, you know, it just kind of makes you go crazy.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I don't want to go crazy. But, you know, it makes sense for the movie.
Yeah.
Fit well.
Yeah, it did. It just, after a while, hearing it over and over and over again. We're not the ones that are supposed to be hypnotized in this movie. We're not supposed to be driven crazy. It's the kids.
So, question. So, did you fall asleep with that menu still going?
No, actually, I knew I was getting tired, so I stopped it.
Okay.
So I didn't want to. So I stopped it beforehand and picked up the next day. Okay. I was just tired. Had nothing to do with the movie itself, but I was just.
I'm just like picturing you sleeping and
then the menu screen just goes.
Music is just continuing.
Oh man, I would have had some weird nightmares that night. No, but it was good. I enjoyed this one. It was, like I said, it was different than the other Halloween movies before it and after it. Completely different. And the acting's more neutral. The score, I mean, it does have its good points and its annoying points. So I guess that could technically be neutral as well. Some of those death scenes were pretty ridiculous, to say the least.
It gets pretty out there.
Yeah, it does. So I think some of those would be, because it's different from the Halloween as far as the deaths go. I would put that as a positive.
Yeah.
Okay. I liked quite a bit of it.
All right. So for me, I already said the mystery aspect. Mm-hmm. I like the death scenes, like especially the that lady who gets the like beam.
Oh yeah,
into her face.
Beams her face, and then like you see her face is all. I don't know what that beam really.
I don't know.
It's part of the witch. It's the witch's curse.
Yeah, and so that was pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, actually,
some of the effects were cool.
The effects were good. I do have one more positive. The ending.
Yeah. I
like the ending. Okay. The end of the movie.
Yeah.
It doesn't have you think it's going to have a positive ending, and then it just doesn't.
Yeah.
No! Yeah. And then it ends. Fade to black. I was like, that's cool. I like that. It would have been cool to see, like, what happens after this movie. Like, an anthology. Like, a Halloween 1 and 2 could have been an anthology, and then Season of the Witch could have had another part to it.
Yeah.
And then just do it that way.
Yeah.
But they really did, like, kill off the bad guys in this one. So I guess it's just, like, the aftermath of what happened. All the kids just die. Like, I'm...
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been sad, but not a whole lot of story there to go.
Right. Just feel like a depressing drama. Did you notice the Halloween cameo? In the bar?
Yeah, I did. I don't know how I feel about that one. Because it's cool that, they they paid homage to the first Halloween movie. But at the same time, does the third one take place in our world and we're watching Halloween as a movie? Just showing Halloween on the screen, like rated R. Like, okay, so that was a movie in this in this world.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's true. I didn't think of that. That's funny. You're such a deep thinker.
I try sometimes. Just sometimes, though.
I did like the music. I like the score. I did notice, and I don't know if this is in a lot of 80s horror movies, but there was some of the same sound effects, like when Michael would show up, and then when like one of the robot guys would show up, like it was like,
yeah, it's very 80s feel for sure.
So I definitely noticed that, and like I said, I don't know if it's specifically 80s or if that's just kind of a Halloween thing, you know?
Yeah.
So that specific sound was very much the same as the first Halloween.
It was, yeah.
So I
you got the same sound guys from the from the first one. There was I'll talk about this when we get to the negatives, I guess. Because there was one that I forgot about for Halloween 2, but can still play with this one as well.
Okay. I like the small town.
Yeah.
And how
it's always a small town in Halloween.
Yeah. But this was a really small town.
Yeah.
And how like the Silver Shamrock Company kind of ran everything. You know, all the businesses were you know, the Shamrock Inn or the you know, everything was
It had a very psycho feel, the inn part.
Yeah.
I like that.
so yeah, I mean, there was some stuff I liked, and we'll talk about some of the stuff I didn't like. So, go ahead.
Yeah. So, one of the negatives that I have for it, and I was just saying that it goes back to not just Halloween 2, but Halloween 1 as well. And it's kind of a cliche with a lot of horror movies, where if you, like, turn around and someone is, like, right there in your face, they just stand still. Normally, like, your reflexes will kick in to, like, at least jump a little bit. Like, do something. Like, it's as if you already know this person standing behind you.
Yeah.
Before you actually turn around. Because you're like, oh, hi, what's up? I see that a lot in, like, horror movies when stuff like this. Like, obviously, we're supposed to know that something's about to happen. But they don't.
Yeah.
Like, the characters aren't supposed to know. So they're the ones that should be, like, shocked a little bit. Like,
they
jump
should
back
be
a little
shocked.
bit. They should be doing something. And so it happened a few times in Halloween 2. I think it happened in this one as well. I don't remember exactly, like, the jump scares in this one that well. But I don't really think there were too many of them, actually.
Yeah. I think they're just, like, the robot guys would kind of pop up.
Yeah.
A few times, but yeah.
Yeah. So it was mostly like a Halloween 1 and 2 thing. They were just like, all of a sudden, you like close a door or something and they're right there. And that's fine. I don't mind that, but it's just like, it's not realistic for a character to just be like, oh, hi.
Yeah, just stand there.
It's just like, just stand there.
Yeah.
Like jump, do something. Like scream. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that was kind of like a more minor negative, but it's just like something that was on my mind watching like Halloween 2, and I was like, I'm going to bring that up, and I just completely forgot. So another negative for me, I know I liked the death scenes for it in this movie, but there was one in particular that was just like, what? when they're showing Dr. Dan what the whole thing is, and you've got the kid with the pumpkin mask sitting in front of the TV, and then he's getting hypnotized, he falls over dead, and then all of a sudden a bunch of bugs come out of his mouth and like snakes
and stuff.
I'm like, what? So does this thing just like liquefy your entire like your body, and just like your whole body turns into like bugs and snakes, and just like how does that work? It was just kind of a weird thing. So I'm like, so that's what's gonna happen to all of these kids.
Yeah.
That sucks. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just like, there's really not a whole lot of negatives really for me, because I liked story, I liked the originality of it going, and it was gutsy to do what they did with this movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like coming off of the success of Halloween 1 and 2, and they're like, let's do something different.
Right.
Okay, go ahead and try it. Let's
And
see what happens.
very different.
Yeah,
This is different from even anything now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like they just tried
Yeah.
to get like a different killer or something.
Yeah.
Like they went a completely different direction. So
Yeah, so I do like that aspect of it. I wouldn't have if I had seen this in theaters, I'm sure, but I can appreciate it 30 years later. Almost 40 years later.
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah, almost 40.
Almost 40 years later. So, yeah, I don't really have too many. The acting is neutral.
Yeah.
Has some good, some bad, whatever. I just hope that they bring Dr. Dan into Halloween Kills.
Oh, okay. That'd be cool.
Like,
is that guy
branch
still
in-
alive?
I don't know if he is or not. Actually, that might actually be something to look into before. At least like Halloween Ends or something. I think
Yeah.
they're already done with Halloween Kills. So
Yeah.
as far as writing or as far as wrapping everything up, but yeah, bring him in for like a cameo or something.
Yeah.
In Halloween
That'd be kinda cool.
Ends. That'd be cool. But yeah, so I don't really think I had too many other negatives really.
Okay.
that I can think of.
So my biggest one is the CGI. It's pretty dated. I mean,
Yeah.
at the time, it might have been
Mhm.
what they had to work with.
Yeah.
But it doesn't last. Like watching it now, it just looks silly.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be, I think, taken seriously.
The first two were, so
Yeah.
you would think that they would
And this
continue
one's just
that.
kind of goofy. You know, it has some like goofy parts, and I don't know if it's like supposed to be goofy or what. But it's fun to watch. It's a fun movie. To
It
watch.
is, yeah.
So I can kind of, besides the CGI, because that's just bad.
Yeah.
Besides that, I think the goofiness or whatever is watchable and entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad movie.
No, it's not.
And
It would
so,
have. It's a good story. It would have done better under a different name.
yeah,
It actually would have been successful under a different name.
yeah.
I think.
I don't like how the doctor kept ignoring his kids. He's
Yeah.
supposed to go see him,
Mm-hmm.
and then he goes off with this girl. Like, come on, man.
Yeah,
Like, why do
he's-
you care about this so much? Go
Yeah.
see your kids.
I know
Your kids have the masks.
Mhm. He's like seeing the nurse,
Yeah.
and also like having sex with this other woman. Like, oh, come on, dude.
Yeah, too much.
You're not a really good person.
Yeah. So I didn't like that. You know, he's
Yeah.
hard to like root for, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, that's about it.
Yeah, it's a pretty solid movie for what it is.
Yeah.
Um,
What do you think about a grade?
I'm gonna give this one probably because I really enjoyed it, but I think I liked the first. I know I liked the first one more, but I'm just debating on if I like this one more than the second one because it was
Yeah.
different. And I think for an overall story, Halloween 1 and 2 it's a good story. Like it's
Yeah.
a good continuation story.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give this one an 82.
Okay. All right, so a little lower.
Slightly lower than Halloween 2. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and I'll do slightly lower as well, and I'll give it an 80. So I'll give it a couple of points lower. But we're sticking in the B range
Yeah.
so far, which is good.
Yeah.
You know, so
It is.
1 through 3
Let's
are
see if we can keep that.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll be doing Halloween 4 and 5 coming up.
Yep.
Now this next 3, it's called the Thorn Trilogy.
The Thorn Trilogy.
Yeah.
All right. I can see it being a trilogy.
Yeah.
I can,
4 through 6?
The 4 through 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They do seem to go fairly well together. So All right. The Thorn trilogy.
Yeah, look it up. Okay, so you can find us on Facebook at Scare Talk Podcast, on Twitter at Scare Talk Pod. You can listen to us on what you're listening to us on now, and almost any other platform as far as we know. And send us a comment. Give us some review on Apple Podcasts.
Yes.
Give us a message, a like.
A recommendation. We'll do
Yeah.
recommendations.
Yeah, if you want us to do a movie, that'd be cool. I'd like to do one that, someone wants to hear our thoughts on.
Yeah, exactly.
Because our thoughts are very important.
They are. Some could say the most important.
Yeah. You don't know how to feel about a movie until you watch or listen to our podcast.
It's true.
So there's so many people that are just waiting to know what to feel. You just gotta let us know, and we'll let you know how to feel.
Exactly.
Okay?
Yeah, we're here for you.
All right. Well, this has been the review for Halloween 3, the Season of the Witch.
Season of the Witch.
All right. This has been Scare Talk.
Sleep tight.
Don't let Colonel Cochran bite.